guys, I just love being out here on the water. I mean, for me, I think of all the different places I can go, there's something about water, being out here on the river, that I just feel this deep, deep sense of peace. You know, like peace, I think of peace as like that safe, calm, contented state of the soul. And I'm curious about you, where do you feel peace? For some people it's going to a certain destination. Maybe for you it's a certain vacation getaway place. I know for many people the beach is where you feel that peaceful, calm sense. For others it could be just, I don't know, a certain place at your house, maybe sitting out on your back porch at a certain time of day, or a certain chair that you nestle into, or maybe just even like, I don't know, at the end of mowing your grass, you kind of look over it and you feel that calm, peaceful sense. Everybody's kind of wired differently in that respect. For some people, there are certain types of music that bring you peace. For me, the music of the water lapping on the side of the boat, that is such a peaceful, calm sound to me. Our Maker has uniquely wired each of us with a unique set of preferences, or you could call it like a pathway for peace. And one of the challenges we're finding right now is that something's messing with that. Our circumstances are preventing some of us from even being able to get to those places that bring us peace. Or the music that we used to listen to isn't actually calming our souls anymore, because there are these deep, scary unknowns that we're wrestling with, and fears that are lurking. And I think that's part of what's causing us all to hunger for a deeper sense of peace that's not based on a place you go to, or music you're listening to, or even people that you're with. And that's what's so amazing about a relationship with God through Jesus. The Bible shows us, it preserves Jesus' words where he talks about how we can have a peace that is different than what the world gives. I gotta tell you guys, I am not by nature a calm, contented person. I tend to be more high-strung and driven and fast-paced. And so being out in places like this certainly helped calm me down. But even being in the most beautiful, calm, safe place can't always take away the angst that I'm feeling inside. Feeling like I don't measure up, feeling like I can't ever get it right, like my words just don't hit the mark, my actions don't accomplish the goals I have for myself, I disappoint others. And then there's circumstances that are outside my control that leave me feeling powerless, like I'm just being swept along and there's nothing I can do to change my situation. And I feel a lot of angst. And I'll tell you, Jesus' words really help me. I think without them, I'd be a miserable, monster. And so you might be in a situation where you need Jesus' words too. Ooh. So I'm thinking about Jesus' disciples here and what they're experiencing. Sorry, give me a second. They're devastated. They're absolutely lost. It feels like they've lost everything. Jesus is speaking words of comfort, and he introduces this new element, the helper, in verse 26 of chapter 14. He says, the helper. All right, hang on, give me just one more second. I'm down at the fishing lakes. I had to paddle hard to get in here. The helper, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, he will teach you all things and bring to your remembrance all that I've said to you. And I absolutely love the idea that God doesn't leave us alone. He brings, or sends rather, himself, the Holy Spirit, to be with us, to give us words of reassurance and comfort, words that calm our anxious hearts. And if we ever needed a time, if there was ever a time we needed more of the Holy Spirit and his words that give the reminders of the things Jesus said, it's right now. I just think about a person, like if you've ever had a person in your life that you just feel absolutely safe with. They just put you at ease. Their words have that ability to just give your heart a calm, steady balancing, That's what the Holy Spirit does. Then he goes on and he says, "Peace I leave with you. My peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your hearts be troubled, neither let them be afraid." So he's talking about a gift of peace. This is one of the great things about a relationship with God through Jesus, that we can experience peace in the midst of even a storm. And it's different than the peace we find in this world. Like, I am absolutely loving it. I'm out here on this calm, beautiful day. I see turtles over there on a log. I mean, this is just so peaceful. And yet, I'll tell you guys, this won't last. And even now, there's a peacefulness, and yet there's also a little bit of angst in my heart. Have I done enough? Are my words going to hit the mark? Like, is this going to, am I going to get it right? Am I going to be, in essence, good enough? Am I going to let people down, or am I going to come through? And these are the things that cause me to have an anxiousness. And I need these words of Jesus where he gives us peace. He goes on to say, "You've heard me say to you, I'm going away and I will come to you. If you loved me, you would have rejoiced because I'm going to the Father, for the Father is greater than I." And I've always kind of scratched my head at this, because I get what Jesus is saying, that if you really cared about me, you'd be happy that I'm leaving, because I'm going to a really great place. I'm going to the Father. But I didn't understand the connection here to the peace that he gives. But I think as I've been thinking about this and praying about this, I've started to get a better sense of what's going on here. The peace he gives us is a peace in knowing where we're going. Hope for the future gives us strength in the present. Our view of the future affects our peace in the present. And so he's describing, guys, you trusted me, you feel safe with me, you were willing to leave everything behind to come be with me. And I'm telling you that being with the Father is even greater than being with me. And so he's giving them this calm reassurance that the future is going to be glorious. And then he goes on and he says, "And now I've told you before it takes place, so that when it does take place, you may believe." And he brings it back to the issue of faith. You want the peace of God? You've got to tap into faith to activate it. Think about the disciples when they were out on that boat and it was a stormy night and the waves were crashing in and everything was a wreck, and they thought they were going to die. And Jesus is there sleeping. He's so at peace. He's asleep in the boat, and they wake him, "Master, Master, we're going to drown." And Jesus gets up and he says, "Peace, be still." And it's just like boom, calm all over the water. And they're just like trying to figure out what in the world happened. And Jesus' response to them is not smacking them around like, "You fools, why don't you trust me? What do I have to do to get it through your thick skulls that you're safe with me?" He just treats them so gently, and he does something interesting. He asks a question. And the question's fitting for us today, guys. He says, "Where is your faith?" Where is your faith? And that idea that faith is what we exercise or activate to open the gift of peace. And I don't know if you've ever thought about it like that, but for many people, the idea of faith, it's just like a feeling. You just have it or you don't. You don't see it as an action. It's a muscle that you exercise. It is a choice to listen to Jesus' words, to embrace them as true, to declare them, and then to act in light of them. he goes on in these verses and he says, I will no longer talk much with you. In other words, he says, the time's running out, for the ruler of this world is coming. He has no claim on me, so it's like he's making it very clear. What's about to happen is really bad, and it is the enemy is behind it. But please understand, he's not stronger than me. It's not like he just is winning in an arm wrestling match. He's saying, I'm doing this in obedience to the Father who's going to redeem it for greater good. And everybody's going to know that I love the Father by the way I submit to his will. And I just think about that today, like in the midst of our current crisis or impending crisis, however you want to see it. Will we submit to the Father like Jesus so that people can see that we love him? You know, will we submit to the Father, believing the promises of Jesus, that the Holy Spirit is here, reminding us of what is true, that where we're going is so great, that we can make it through whatever we're facing right now. And we're not going to do it alone, that he's actually present with us. The presence of God through the Holy Spirit in the present is what helps us to get to this glorious future. Guys, this is a peace-giving promise, and this is for us to lay hold of today. It's for us to say, I believe, I receive that word, Jesus. I receive that word, peace, be still. Lord, you spoke to the storms and the waves and the sea, and you said, peace, be still. And I want to let you speak that into my life right now. I hear you saying, peace, be still. That even though I don't know where this is going, I don't know what's going to happen, and even if I could play out a worst case scenario, that I or the people I know and love aren't going to make it, that there could be death that knocks on our door, that everybody who knows you and trusts you has this incredible hope of the place you're preparing with the Father. Peace be still, peace be still. Come, Holy Spirit, and bring peace to everybody's troubled heart right now. Well, I don't know if you could see that, but it says full. My recording, my GoPro is full, and I don't have another card. So we've got a situation here. Switching over to my phone because there's something I feel I really need to tell you guys. At the end of John chapter 16, Jesus is telling his disciples, they're like, we finally get it. You're going to the Father, you're going back to the Father. And Jesus is like, guys, you're about to be scattered. You know, you think you get it, but you're gonna forget. And then he says, but the Father is with me, I'm not alone. And he's like, I'm telling you this so that you will have peace. And in this world you'll have trouble, but take heart, I've overcome the world. And so here's the deal. I so often lose the peace. I'm there, I'm walking in it. I was feeling great with that recording back there, and then the camera's full. I don't have another card, and I'm anxious again. I'm feeling like I've failed, like I didn't plan right, I didn't do good enough. And Jesus knows about us that we're gonna struggle to hold on to peace. He knows that we're gonna get it and then we're gonna forget it. And so he ends this teaching stretch here in John chapter 16 by saying, in this world you'll have trouble, but take heart, I have overcome the world. He's calming his disciples to say, I know you're gonna fail me. I know you're gonna mess up. I know you're going to flake out. It's okay. I'm with the Father's with me, and I'm giving you a peace that's greater than even your own regrets and shame. And so I guess I want to end by saying there is a peace that Jesus gives as a gift. It comes from trusting his promises. And the good news is, even when we fail to consistently trust His promises, He is faithful to continue to offer this gift. And I want to encourage you guys, lean in, grab hold of the peace of God. Peace, be still. Listen to the Holy Spirit speaking those words to you right now. Peace, be still. Fears, regrets, uncertainties, anxieties, be still. The peace of God be with you.